Hey everyone, it's Tyler Stroke from Universal Rackets, and this is going to be an amazing video because in this video we are going to be going over the top 3 mistakes that club players make. Once again, if you stay tuned for this whole video, you will learn the top 3 mistakes that club players make. It is what separates beginners from intermediates. It's what separates intermediates from advanced players. So we'll go over what they do wrong and how to fix it. So the first mistake that many club players make is that they go away from this kitchen line. And what I mean, anytime that someone speeds up, someone smashes the ball, bangers, people who speed up the ball, they move back. In tennis, you have time to move back. In pickleball, it's so short, you don't have any time to react. You have to be efficient and you have to be as compact as possible. The only time that you want to move back while you're playing pickleball at a high level is if you want to buy yourself time when the ball's neutral so you can speed up the ball. So again, the only time that you want to move back in pickleball is if the ball bounces and then you can move back and then finish forward to speed the ball up. Anytime that the ball is getting drilled at you, instead of moving back, you need to make sure that you stand up at the kitchen line. Now, when you stand up at the kitchen line, I want you to think that you're holding a shield. Pretend you have a shield right in front of you and you want to make sure you are here. You're not inside, you're not jumping while you're hitting. All you're going to do is, again, stand with your paddle out, keep your paddle out in front, and do not move it whatsoever. Now, a great drill to work on handling speed ups and balls getting smashed at you is get your opponent on the other side to just feed balls at you at a moderate pace. Again, so pretend I'm the opponent or partner at the other side working with the person that's holding the ball out. All you're going to do is get a couple balls and go 50% and hit the ball right at them. So by them feeding the ball at you 50%, that can give you the confidence to just stay out here. Now, a big thing is now players aren't moving back, they're standing here, but now you have to make sure that you just keep your paddle forward. Too many players, they move their wrist. You need to make sure that you keep your wrist firm and forward to just block the ball back. Once you do this over and over again and you get the confidence in a drilling setting, you're going to be able to just dink a ball and anticipate that speed up, and you're going to have so much confidence by just standing here, utilizing the proper position, drilling on it, that your opponents are going to speed the ball up and you're going to absolutely eat it every single time. So that's tip number 1, staying up at the kitchen line and make sure we are acting to speed up properly, okay? The only time we move back, again, is, well, clearly there's a lob, or if there's a high dink and you want time and you want to move back and speed up the ball yourself. Now, the second tip where players go wrong at the kitchen, okay? They stay in one spot. Now, the reason why they stay at one spot is because they drill too much. And if you want to get better at pickleball, you have to drill more than you play. Once again, if you want to improve your pickleball game, you need to be drilling way more than you're playing, right? But what happens, including myself, I am a huge culprit of this. When I drill and I dink cross court, I'm just like this, right? I'm in it, I'm in a rally, dinking cross court, dinking cross court, dinking cross court, and I end up just standing here. Why? Because my partner and I, we're working on going back and forth, so I don't have to move. They're trying to work with me, and I'm just standing here. I'm not actively moving during my drilling. So then when the game comes along, I'm so used to just standing here and dinking cross court that they go up the middle and I have no shot whatsoever. Once again, I'm so used to dinking and standing here, and this happens to me all the time. I had to fix this quickly, is my opponent, they'll just speed the ball up at me, and then I will just leave the middle wide open and they'll hit a super easy shot. Not just if I hit it to the other person, but if I'm dinking with my opponent out wide, I'm not drilling, they're going to then just tap the ball over down the middle. So what you can do to stop that and solve that is think that you always want to recover to the middle of the kitchen. Once again, think that you always want to recover to the middle of the kitchen. So if you go out wide, you want to make sure that you recover back to the middle. Once again, if you go out wide, you want to make sure that you always recover back to the middle. I want you to think that the middle is a magnet. It is pulling you back in every single time. Another great thing that you can do to solve this problem is that when you go out wide, you're going to finish on your outside leg so you can push back onto the court. Once again, when you go out wide, instead of just going out wide and then standing here or having to go back, I want you to utilize your outside leg to literally slingshot you back into the middle on the court. So another thing that you can do is always finish on the outside leg. The next thing that you can do as well is follow the ball. Not only follow the ball with your paddle, because again, I can follow the ball and be here, but I want to make sure I follow the ball with my feet. If I hit the ball to the left, I want to cover the middle, and my partner wants to cover out wide. If myself or my partner hits to the right, I want to cover down the line. My partner wants to cover the middle. So you want to make sure that you follow the ball with your feet and with your paddle. Yes, I said first you want to recover to the midpoint, but if you want to take it a step further and make sure you maximize court coverage, again, if I go to the left, that means I have middle. My partner goes to the left. If I go to the right with my ball, I go to the right and my partner goes to the right. So that is tip number 2, okay? So players, they aren't getting to the next level because they're not staying at this kitchen line. They're moving back or they're flinching at speed ups. They're not just standing here. And the second thing, and where I go wrong all the time, is what? I am just standing here because I'm so used to drilling. I'm trying to get so better so quickly, and what do I have to do? I have to drill, but I'm not actively drilling. So the last thing that you can do to fix that is actively drill. And we have a whole video, myself and the Pickle Yogi, we go over our drilling session, and it's not like this. You wanna make sure every single time you're drilling, even though you're just dinking cross court or dinking down the line, you wanna actively recover. Now, the last thing, and this is huge, players, they are not leaning over the kitchen line. So not only they're not standing at the kitchen line, they're backing off the kitchen line, but they're not leaning over the kitchen line. By leaning over the kitchen line, that allows you to make contact with the ball at a higher point. If you can make contact with the ball at a higher point, that means you are going to hit the ball into a more or at a more offensive position. A ball that here versus here, up here I can smash down on the ball. Down here I have to hit up on the ball. Too many players, they're afraid to lean over because they don't want to go in the kitchen, and what do? They hit off the bounce, and when I hit the ball off the bounce, what does that do? That forces me to hit up. And when I can hit up, that's going to allow my opponents to hit down or give them a better chance to hit down. Rather, if I take the ball out of the air, I can either take it at the net or at a higher point. So make sure that you lean over the kitchen line. You don't just let the ball bounce, okay? How do we lean over the kitchen line in the best way possible? You're not just leaning and bending at your waist, you are getting into your legs and you're extending forward. I want you to think, if you stand straight tall, no bend in the knees, I can only go out this far. But if I drop my center of gravity, get into my legs, now I can get 2 or 3 more inches out in front. Another great drill that we like to do at Universal Rackets is we'll put a target. I have a Project 006 Tour paddle right there. And what we're going to do is have your target here. And if any ball bounces in front of the target, you're going to let it bounce. But then if any ball bounces behind or at the target, you're going to take it out of the air. By doing that drill and drilling like that over and over and over again, it's going to help you a ton, and you're going to be able to take more balls out of the air, take time away from your opponent, and hit balls at a higher height, which will allow you to be in a more neutral offensive position rather than a lower neutral or defensive position. So once again, these are 3 quick tips that will immediately change your pickleball game. Number 1 is staying at the kitchen and utilizing our shield, drilling with your opponent, getting the feel and confidence to stand here, okay? Again, when I do this drill over and over again, and I have to do it, if I don't do it for a little bit, I'm going to revert back to my normal self. And as a tennis player, I think I have so much time I can move back. But when I'm doing this drill and then I go out and play, I'll hit the ball high to the person and I'll literally just stand out here because I'm so locked in and I have that confidence that I can just block every single ball back. You feel like a wall. The second thing is what? We're actively recovering. We're recovering to the middle of our center or of our half, or what are we doing? We're following the ball. If we go to the left, we go to the left. We go to the right, we go to the right. And the last thing but not least, we are taking the balls out of the air. We are not letting the ball bounce. If you don't already do this, or if you kind of do this, but you don't do it all the time, this will completely change your game. Now, If you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know in the comments below. Make sure to click the link in the description to get any Universal Rackets program near you. If you want a corporate event, special event, fundraisers, we specialize in it. Fill out the form, a Universal Rackets representative will get back out to you. We're doing a giveaway for 2 Selkirk paddles. We are doing the Vanguard Control, what are they? The Vanguard Control Invicta paddles, so make sure you check them out. Enter the giveaways, links in the description. Have a good one, happy hitting, and I will see you guys next time on court.